You mentioned about a mathematician called David Grimes in the book, and that he postulated that a secret like the moon landing being faked would have been blown open within 4 years. What parameters is he using there to get that number?
So what he's doing, and I mean, this is really interesting on the one hand, and I think on the other hand, it's quite silly because it's really a mathematical, tip of the finger exercise, is that he makes assumptions about how many people would have had to be involved in a specific conspiracy, the moon landing or the 9/11 attacks. And then he makes assumptions about if there's that many people, it'll take that long for people to talk. And I think with the moon landing, there would be hundreds of thousands of people involved. So he assumes that this would be revealed within 4 years. I think with 9/11, it would be slightly fewer people, and therefore it would take a little bit longer. But of course, he has a point there. I talk a lot to journalists, and what journalists always tell me is somebody always talks. So, I mean, in Germany, what we're regularly having these days is that every couple of weeks, our chancellor meets with the governors of the different states. And even if they decide not to talk during the break, somebody will always talk, even though it's not even 20 people in that room. And of course, with thousands of people involved in the conspiracy, somebody would talk. Or with the Kennedy assassination, why haven't there been any deathbed confessions? So this renders all of these large conspiracy scenarios extremely unlikely.
Absolutely. The moon landing one is, I think you're right. I mean, it would have been hundreds of thousands of people. But by the same stroke, we sometimes see things like where Buzz Aldrin. I don't know if you've seen the interview of Buzz Aldrin, and he's talking to a little girl, and he's basically saying it was difficult to go back, but he kind of messed his words up a bit, and the conspiracy theorists cut out a bit that said we didn't go, and they ran with that, and you just think, no.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. I once believed in the moon landing conspiracy theory.
You did?
For 3 minutes, about 3 minutes.
Okay.
So that was 1999, and that was my first conscious encounter with conspiracy theories. So I was studying in England at UEA Norwich, and it was the 30th anniversary of the moon landing, and the student magazine had a large cover story on how the moon landing had been faked inside of a TV studio. And I read that, and I was like 22 years old, and my world changed. And I thought, this is so convincing. Why did nobody ever tell me that? It's so obvious. And well, I took a deep breath, and I think I sipped on my pint, and then I turned the page, and then there was all the counter evidence, and then I felt really, really silly. So, but I was a moon landing conspiracy theorist at least for a minute or so.
You've admitted it though. That's fair enough.